Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for the crypto market recap. Let's hop into these charts, see what the story is and what it may be. And remember, if you're interested in any of the services I provide, please check the links in the description below for both the Discord and Patreon. Okay, so we're going to be going over Bitcoin and Solana as well as Avalanche, as we were in positions in all three. But as of right now, we are only in the long position for both Bitcoin and Solana. We closed our long for Avalanche yesterday, so we'll go over that. I may do a quick look over a few other altcoins, but I'm predominantly going to focus on those three. So starting with Bitcoin, we are still currently in the long. We are in the money, not huge in the money, but we are in the money. As we can see, as we've been road mapping, Bitcoin is continuing to hold this rising trend line, this green rising trend line, which is going to be and continues to be serious support. It's very significant. Okay, so currently I still believe my thesis and that we will hold this level and have another impulse higher towards the 42k level and maybe towards 43k, 43.5. Okay, so that's where I do see us going for one main reason. I believe that we need a little bit more fuel to get enough gumption to get through this level, so through this ascending trend line. I see that we've been trying. Yesterday we had a pretty strong sell-off. It was so strong, in fact, it actually engulfed the day before's gains. But so far, the bulls, the buyers, the smart money that's been holding this zone is showing enough force to keep the pressure to the upside. And I do believe that the sellers will start dissipating here and start aiming for higher levels like 42k to try and get out of their positions. I also believe that the smart shorts, the people who are looking to form another leg down, will try and trap as many retail longs, retail buyers as they can up here. And that is what I would think would lean towards this drop. And then those people who bought up here, who are now in the red, will start closing out here. And then finally, a new trend to the downside going towards the bottom of this larger wedge pattern will likely happen. Okay, so that's the general path that I see. That's what I'm eyeing right now. So if we stay long and continue higher, as I'm seeing, 42k, maybe 42.1 will definitely be the level I'm going to be looking to close out the position. If I were to go short, I'm still debating whether or not I'll go short here. So if you're in the Discord, make sure those alerts are on. You'll get an alert from me either way once we close the long here, or once we open a short up here. If for whatever reason, let's just say I'm wrong, which is always possible, and we just break lower from here, then we have a couple levels that we can look to add on to the long. So the first level would be around 37,000 to 37,500. So this zone right here, if we come down relatively quickly and get towards the ascending trend line over in this general area, then we're going to be looking at 36,000, 36,500. But in most cases, in this sort of structure, I would expect that we break lower and then have some sideways action to get us to get fuel to go through 37,000, 37.5 and break down towards the ascending trend line, which is going to be around the 37,000 to 37.5 level anyway as more time passes. Okay, so this would be the general area I would like to target, but I might actually do an add-on by 37,000 as well. It really depends, or 38,000 I should say. So it really depends, but we do have about one or two other add-on places here, and we have so little exposure that even if we do have some downside, we have plenty of room to add on, and we're very nimble, especially after closing the Avalanche trade. Okay, so right now, highest probability path is Bitcoin goes a little higher towards 42, 43, and then that's where exhaustion will probably start to kick in. All right, let's just say it does break through this level here, and we get another break of the rising wedge. I believe I mentioned it in the last time I did a video, that this would then invalidate this rising wedge pattern. We will probably go quite a bit higher towards the 45,000 mark if we break past this top line of the ascending bearish wedge. Okay, yeah, 45,000 and maybe even higher towards the red line here. Okay, so all right, let's go to Solana now. So here is Solana, and we're still long here as well. We got mainly off a bounce of support. We're about break even actually, because we're just at $100, maybe a little above $100. So we're about break even, but we are in the green slightly. But yeah, Solana, had a very tough day yesterday, sold off pretty hard, but currently this support zone is being held. We're going to see if it can continue to be held, and if Bitcoin has its impulse, then it's going to get towards my target level of 110. That's where I would like to take profit. We missed it just slightly on this candle here, but hopefully we can get another rise higher to that zone, and that's where I'll look to close out the long. It's possible it can get to that 113 mark as well, but 110 is more than enough for me. And once we get to these levels, again, more exhaustion will most likely start coming into the market, and we'll probably see another leg lower to continue the trend down. However, let's just say I'm wrong and it does break lower from here. Well, we have this level here at $92 to $92.50, and then we have another level down here, which is the ascending trend line to add on to. So Solana, we have two clear zones we can add on to that have high probability levels to pop at. So if it does hit here, there's a good chance it starts a little bounce towards 98 and maybe higher. If it doesn't and it goes lower towards this ascending trend line, that's very nice. That means it was a strong sell, and it'll likely get exhausted over here because there'll be a lot of demand, and we might see a beautiful pattern to get us towards 92 to $98. I would actually aim for $98 since our average is around $100. If we do a couple percentage add-ons, so 2% of the account is exposed to Solana right now. Let's say we do another 2% at 92, exposing the account 4% overall, and then let's say we double it and do a 4% here, and we have a total account exposure of 8%, which is I'm pretty comfortable with in regards to Solana being exposed that much. Well, our average entry, if I'm doing the math right off the top of my head, is somewhere around this part here at $90. Unless I decide to do instead 1% here, or rather a 2% here, and then maybe like 3% here rather than 4%. Again, it might change a little if I decide to do a different percentages in the add-ons, but 2% here and then 4% here is where I'm aiming right now, and we'd probably be around the $90 to maybe $91 average entry, and yeah, a run towards $98 would still be pretty profitable for us, and it'd be relatively little risk as well. It's very probable we get a somewhat significant bounce towards 98 to 95 at least from this level before we come back and eventually break this level if Bitcoin continues its weakness on the midterm time frames. Okay, and let's take a look at Avalanche. So Avalanche, we ended up closing the long, so we banked in a good profit, about 11%, maybe a little bit higher. However, we could have banked in a bit more, but it was my error. So we got long at a perfect place, one of the best trades we've had since the beginning of the year. We caught the very bottom, the very bottom of this wick. We were about 20 cents, maybe 30 cents off the bottom, or 3 cents off the bottom of the wick. It was an incredible entry, and I was aiming for $82, and we got extremely close yesterday. We got to $81.87, so we were 13 cents off, and unfortunately I could not pull the trigger fast enough. I was going to close at 81.87 once I saw it linger there, and I was observing that Bitcoin was showing a lot of weakness yesterday, and when I went to do it, it started to sell off, and I could not get out until about $80 and change. So I did leave a good maybe 1-2% on the table there. So that was unfortunate. But that's also part of it, right? It's gonna happen. You're never gonna always get like the best entries like we did, or the best exits. Sometimes you're gonna have to leave stuff on the table. So unfortunately, we couldn't get the most out of it at the time, but we did get a good amount out. We got about 11%. I'm not going to complain, especially after our entry. And now that we've closed out Avalanche, our exposure to crypto is even less. So total for both Bitcoin and Solana, our total exposure to crypto is about I want to say 6%. 4% on Bitcoin, 2% on Solana. So we're heavy in cash on the sidelines. We're ready to add on or enter other positions if we get the opportunity. So really no stress here, no risk. Or very little risk, I should say. So we'll continue to do the smart thing, which is observe and be patient and be vigilant. And also, we are very nimble since we are extremely liquid right now. But yeah, Avalanche looks pretty good. I do think if Bitcoin continues to do what it's doing, that it will get towards my target and maybe even $85. One of the reasons why I end up closing it is because of the risk reward. So we got down here and it was 13 cents away from my target. I just failed to close it quick enough before it started reversing. I was right into believing that it's best to take the profit at 81, 87 rather than wait and wait another downturn that it may have, which it inevitably did at the time, for the rise to my target. Yeah, so it was the right decision. I just wasn't fast enough. Okay, and let's take a quick look at Ethereum, and then I'll call it a day. Okay. All right. So Ethereum is actually moving pretty nice. So had that rejection off the ascending trend line, made this bear flag, played it out in one candle pretty much, and now is sitting on support and is it seems like it may be painting another ascending pattern. However, after just a single drop, and look how close it is to this other bear flag here, it makes me think that this is not correct. It's not mature enough to assume that it's going to be another ascending pattern like this. We have to give this a little bit more time, because what I'm actually thinking, because I do see more downside as time goes forward. Ethereum is not performing as strongly as even Bitcoin, Solana, AVAX, a lot of other coins, comparatively percentage-wise, if you take a look. It's been a lot more lackluster. So what I'm thinking is we may actually start seeing Ethereum break down a little bit more and almost make like a wedge-ish pattern this way, getting us closer to another level of support. Okay, I don't know if this is the case. Again, this is conjecture. This is what may be. We're pathing what may be, but Ethereum may just linger around this support and try and hold it over time. And if it does make a nice wedge pattern, we may end up seeing it have a bit of a pop, especially if we stay here throughout the weekend, right? Look at me fail to draw this. But if we stay here from the weekend, which I don't think is likely, but it can be, then we may have a nice impulse higher towards the bottom here of this bear flag, which is about 3150 to 3160 to 3200 maybe. So we might see something pretty nice like that. But again, it's dependent on Bitcoin, and right now, if I had to assume, just looking at what I'm seeing, Bitcoin looks ready to go a little bit higher, an impulse higher, because if it's coming off of like a major support zone here. So if that's going to happen, Ethereum will probably burst a bit higher, and it might still get to that 3160, 3200 level. And if Bitcoin really does make it towards 43K and kind of stabilizes there just for a bit, you might actually see an extended move off of on Ethereum towards 3300, right? So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. It is holding the support decently, but again, Bitcoin's midterm bearish, so I have to be. I am midterm bearish on Ethereum, as it is midterm bearish. I mean, take a look. Ascending pattern from a massive drop from an all-time high, extremely similar to Bitcoin. Massive drop and now an ascending pattern that you could call a rising wedge or a bear flag, depending on your point of view. Either way, it's the same general sentiment. It's midterm bearish. That will lead to lower levels if played out. Okay, all right. So I'm just gonna stop it there. Thanks for stopping by and listening to me ramble. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have a great weekend. If you are interested in any of my services, please check the links below. If you just want to join a room, it's a totally free Discord, and you want to learn more about charts or talk to other people who are interested in technical analysis, please join. You're more than welcome. Okay, everyone, remember, be patient, be nimble, and I screwed it up. I screwed it up. That's not a good sign. Be patient, be vigilant, and be nimble. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.